Hey, what's up, everybody? Dr. Jason Jones back with another episode of Health Made Easy. And last week, we answered a question: is chiropractic care for children? And of course, it is, because they have a spine, they have a nervous system just like an adult would, but they can benefit in very different ways. However, oftentimes, a question that comes up is what are the conditions that lead parents to seek pediatric chiropractic care? And before I get into that, certainly, oftentimes, because our culture is so very what I call sick health oriented, meaning that we don't really do anything with our health until we have a problem, we have a sickness, we have a symptom or a problem of some sort. Meaning that as long as we're not sick or feeling bad, or we look pretty good in the mirror, we just assume that we're healthy, which could not be farther from the truth. Health has everything to do with function, which is where chiropractic care for kids and adults comes in, because chiropractic influences the nervous system and helps the nervous system perform at its absolute best. And the nervous system is what allows your body to function at its best. So, the concept of pediatric chiropractic care, especially with the increased popularity of alternative medicine practices, certainly is nothing new. The fact that chiropractic care does not involve medication, makes it even more appealing when it comes to treating children. There are more and more parents today that are just fed up, sick and tired of medicating their children. And today we know that chiropractic is highly effective in treating chronic conditions in children, such as asthma. Seen that time and time again. But you might be a bit hesitant about the idea of taking your child to a chiropractor. There's no secret that this type of care, has been associated with adults only for a while, but people have been taking their kids to chiropractors for over 100 years. And numerous studies, research, and personal experiences have helped bring to light the benefits of pediatric chiropractic care. So if you're not quite sure you understand why you would want to take your child to a chiropractor, just hang in there, because I'm going to go over a few common conditions that cause parents to seek pediatric chiropractic care. One is going to be sports injuries, and this is going to be not an exhaustive list. I'm just going to kind of hit the highlight reel today on these. It's not uncommon for a parent to want their kids to be involved in extracurricular activities and sports. Not only does it help them keep them busy, but it encourages better academic performance. However, there are some dangers of having your children engaged in athletic activities. Number one being physical injuries, and that's where a chiropractor certainly can come into play. Instead of keeping your child from playing, a sport that he loves for the fear that he might get injured, keep your chiropractor within reach. Since chiropractors are trained and very knowledgeable, in taking care of injuries, they can detect the very slightest amount of misalignment before it becomes a real problem. And then also keep your child fine-tuned for the sports season and throughout the year. Autism is one, and this is such a controversial topic. What causes it? What doesn't cause it? Those are sort of irrelevant questions at this point. But because autism certainly has a nervous system component to it, that again is where the chiropractor comes in. This is the exact reason that qualifies chiropractors when it comes to taking care of children or adults that are on the autism spectrum or have minimally some of the symptoms of that. So a very gentle adjustment provides and is designed to directly impact the nervous system in a very positive way, and oftentimes can provide a tremendous amount of overall relaxation and even help with sensory conditions. Because again, your ability to relax, your ability to sense and perceive, the environment around you, which oftentimes in autism can be heightened or even suppressed. We can see a big change, and again, we've seen this happen time and time again. Colic, which is such a dreaded condition, that gets parents on edge, because of the sleepless nights and the restless days. It's not an uncommon problem, and there are various, medications that, certainly claim to help treat colic. However, chiropractic care, which aids in providing relaxation, removing any sort of nerve irritation to the digestive tract, does more than just quote unquote treat colic. Numerous studies have found that pediatric chiropractic care tends to improve sleep and even decrease like the outbursts or tantrums or just the things that you see with kids with colic. Headaches is another one. Headaches is not an adult problem. And headaches are not normal in any way, shape, form, or fashion. They're extremely common, meaning a lot of people have them, but they're definitely not normal. And most of the time, the cause of a headache is muscular tension as a result of an underlying problem, which is a misalignment in the structure of the spine that creates some nerve tension, nerve pressure, nerve irritation, and then the muscles react to that. And when you realize that, this is the first steps towards seeking better care for your child, especially when it comes to a headache. And a chiropractor helps relieve that tension in the neck, in the back, along the spine by taking the pressure and resetting the structure in there very gently and very easily, which provides the necessary relief and function to that child. Growing pains, another issue that children seem to face while they're growing up is growing pains. Often occurs around, the arms and the legs due to, the physical activity that they have and they engage in. If it's not dealt with immediately, some of the pain tends to transfer to the spine, certainly increasing their pain tenfold. But again, if the structure is off in any way, shape, form, or fashion, it's going to put extra stress on the muscles, extra stress on the ligaments, extra stress on all the little parts where those muscles, ligaments, and tendons insert into the bones, which can be very sensitive and can cause those growing pains in kids. Last one, certainly, again, this is not an exhaustive list, is ear infections, which is probably the most common reason that parents bring their kids to a chiropractor, other than just overall general wellness, because they understand that chiropractic just helps improve function in general. But it is quite common for a child, especially 3 years and younger, to have ear infections. And most ear infections are can be the result of a sinus infection or a cold, but it also can be inflammation in the ear canal and even the in the tube as a result of there being nerve pressure in the upper part of the neck, and that in turn creates the issue that we see. And how do I know that? Is because when we clear or adjust that little bone in the upper part of the neck, then within like minutes, you see the child, starting to do better. Sometimes it certainly takes longer. I've seen children where their entire head has turned red and flush because of they've had a chronic ear infection for the last week. We do an adjustment for them, take them up front, and by the time we get them to the front counter, all the redness has come out of their head, and they're smiling, they're happy. But they're just painful and very uncomfortable for a child. And what parent wouldn't do anything in the world to ease that pain and suffering, from their child? So a pediatric chiropractor really is about aligning the spine and the nervous system, and that also ends up strengthening the immune system. There's tons of studies, out there, that end up proving that. So I hope this helped you. I hope this makes sense. I hope this at least opened your eyes a little bit to that, so you can serve and help your child, your grandchild end up being the best that they can possibly be. So this is Dr. Jason Jones signing out. Love you guys, and thank you for listening, and we'll see you on the very next podcast. Hang in there. The next one is I'm going to give you some different lunches and tips nutrition wise for kids. So see you on the next one. Bye bye.